Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be tackling some pretty big concepts,
Yeah.
eternal drama and the cycle of rebirth. And we're looking at this through the lens of the Aj Ki Murli, the one from February 26th of 2025.
Right.
Now, even if you're not super familiar with this,
Yeah.
I think you'll find the ideas about life and death and time pretty fascinating.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that really struck me about this particular Murli
Yeah.
is how it kind of flips the script on our usual
Okay.
way of thinking about time. Instead of like straight line,
Yeah.
it presents this cyclical view where history actually repeats itself, like a grand cosmic
A
drama.
cosmic play.
Yeah. Imagine the world as a stage, and we're all actors just playing our parts,
Yeah.
and the play unfolds the exact same way every 5,000 years.
So it's like we're all on this track, this predetermined track, just
Okay.
playing out roles we've played who knows how many times before.
Exactly. And the Murli uses this really vivid image. It talks about a clock ticking, Garkadadiamia,
Okay.
like that constant ticking. It emphasizes how precise and unchanging this cycle is.
Okay, so no deviation, no surprises. If everything's already set, where does our choice fit in?
Right, right. So that's where things get really interesting. The Murli refers to this understanding as a secret, or it's a subtle concept.
Okay.
It requires, deep thought and reflection.
So it's not saying that we don't have free will, but maybe that our choices are part of this much larger cosmic dance.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this is different from how we usually think about things. So how do we as individuals, where do we fit in this grand cycle?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Where do we stand?
Well, the Murli talks about this fascinating concept of a soul's journey through 84 births.
Okay.
And it's not just about living 84 human lives, but it's about the soul evolving through different states of spiritual purity.
84 births, that's a specific number. Is there something behind that?
Yeah, it's a number that appears in lots of different spiritual traditions, and it usually symbolizes a complete cycle of experience.
Oh, okay.
So the Murli says that we start at the highest state of purity. It's called Sato.
Okay.
And over time, over multiple births, we gradually descend to the lowest state, which is Tamo.
And how does that happen? Like, what causes that descent?
Well, think of it like, a brand new house, right?
Right.
Sparkling clean, full of potential.
Right.
Over time, it inevitably gets a little worn down, maybe some scuff marks here and there.
Ah. So our soul, just like that new house, it starts pure, but accumulates these scuff marks as it goes through life after life.
Exactly, yeah. And the Murli describes it as accumulating karmic baggage
Okay.
over these multiple births.
So are we talking about de-evolution then? I mean, is that...
You could say that, yeah. It's definitely a different perspective from
Yeah.
the typical, linear progress kind of idea.
Right.
The Murli describes how souls actually start as pure deities in the Golden Age. This is called Bole.
Okay.
And they gradually descend to lower forms over time.
So from deities to humans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ultimately becoming humans in this current age, the Iron Age, or
It's
actual.
a wild thought, deities becoming humans. Right. And it doesn't stop there. It even extends to things like the sun, moon, and stars.
Oh, hold on. So you're saying the sun is considered a deity in this worldview?
Yes, because of their benevolent, life-giving nature.
Oh, wow. So I'm really curious about this hierarchy of beings then. How do they actually define a deity in this context? So we've got these celestial deities, the sun and moon,
Right.
and then we have these pure deities from the Golden Age.
Right.
It sounds like there's a difference there. What
Yeah.
makes a deity pure then?
That's a great question. Yeah, it really comes down to their nature.
Okay.
So celestial deities, they're seen as benevolent because of...
The role they play, like the sun gives warmth, the moon gives this gentle light.
Right.
But pure deities, the ones from that Golden Age, they represent a state of complete spiritual purity, achieved through conscious effort and connection with the divine.
Okay, so the pure deities are kind of like the
Right,
gold standard of what a soul can actually aspire to be.
exactly. They embody like our true potential,
Okay.
the potential we all have to return to that perfect state.
So where does that leave us humans in the Iron Age then?
Right.
We're pretty far from pure deities, it sounds like.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
The Murli describes this age as the time when souls are furthest from their original purity.
Okay.
But it's important to remember, it's a cycle.
Right.
There's always potential for change and return.
So that's where this liberator comes in, right?
Yes.
The Murli mentions this Shiv Baba. Can you tell us more about who that is and what his role is in all of this?
Yeah. So Shiv Baba is considered the purifier, or Hamyu in Hindi. He descends during the Confluence Age, or Inalad one, to guide souls back to their original purity.
The Confluence Age. What's so special about that time?
It's this really significant time when the old cycle is ending
Okay.
and the new one's about to begin.
Okay.
It's a time of huge transformation and a big opportunity for spiritual awakening.
So Shiv Baba comes in at this pivotal moment, and does he come with thunder and lightning, or what's his approach?
Not quite. What's interesting is Shiv Baba takes on a human form to interact with souls and teach them.
A god in human form. That's not what you usually hear in other traditions.
Right. It really emphasizes this idea of a personal connection with the divine.
Yeah.
He's not this distant force, but a loving guide who's there with us on this journey.
It's almost like a mentor-student kind of thing.
Exactly.
Which makes this whole idea of connecting with the divine a lot less intimidating.
Right.
But how does this purification work? What does Shiv Baba actually teach?
He teaches something called Raja Yoga, which is essentially a practice of remembrance, or Aya in Hindi.
Okay.
But it's not just about intellectual understanding. It's about cultivating a deep spiritual connection with Shiv Baba, who is the Supreme Soul.
Remembrance. What are we trying to remember?
We're remembering our true nature as souls, our connection to the divine source, and that inherent purity that we had in the Golden Age. The Murli uses this beautiful analogy of lovers. Explain this. We, as souls, are the lovers yearning for the beloved Shiv Baba.
That's a really poetic way to put it. It's like a spiritual homecoming, remembering that love and connection we lost somewhere along the way. But the Murli also talks about this purification. How does that fit into this remembering?
Purification's a key part of this whole process. Remember, we've accumulated impurities over many lifetimes.
Right.
So through Remember Shiv Baba, we cleanse those impurities and get back to our original state.
It's like a spiritual detox then. We're clearing out the junk to make room for that pure connection.
Yeah, that's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
And the Murli emphasizes this purification.
Okay.
It's not just for us. It's about becoming worthy instruments for Shiv Baba's work.
Instruments? What do you mean?
He's the ultimate purifier, and we, as his instruments, can help spread this knowledge and guide others toward liberation. It's like a ripple effect. Our transformation can uplift others too.
That's a really powerful image. So we're not just passively receiving this knowledge.
Right.
We're actively participating in this whole transformation and helping others find their way back as well.
Exactly. And the Murli really stresses Shiv Baba is the only true purifier.
Okay.
It even challenges the idea of the Ganges River as a purifier. You know, it says,
wow, that's a bold statement. It really shows how unique this belief system is.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, the Murli also mentions Sri Krishna. Isn't he a big figure in Hinduism?
He is.
How does he fit into all of this?
So the Murli explains that even Sri Krishna's soul, which was pure in that golden age, right, has descended through multiple births and accumulated some impurities.
So even the gods then, in a way, are subject to this cycle of descent and purification.
Exactly, yeah. It really shows just how all-encompassing this cycle truly is.
And the Murli points out that traditional scriptures have kind of obscured this knowledge, which has led to some misconception.
Exactly. It's like a cosmic game of telephone. You know,
yeah.
The message gets distorted over time, and this Murli is trying to get back to that original source.
Okay, so go back to the source. That makes sense. But I'm wondering if this cycle is repeating and everything is preordained, then what's the point of even trying? It seems like the Murli might be contradicting itself here.
That's a really good question, and the Murli actually addresses that.
Okay.
It acknowledges that some people might think, meaning if it's all going to happen anyway, why bother putting in the effort?
Right.
But the Murli stresses that effort, or Kantana is absolutely essential.
So it's not about changing destiny, but more about aligning ourselves with it through our actions.
Precisely. The Murli has this powerful metaphor. It says, okay, nearly Kantambo shouldn't have come it yet. Would not Kleintownly opto to pohe. Murli have boutbear. Okay. Which means those who just rely on destiny without putting in effort are not going to achieve their full potential.
It's like saying, just because you're in the play doesn't mean you have the lead role.
Right.
You still got to learn your lines. You got to rehearse, put in the work to really shine.
Exactly, yeah. And that's where remembering Shiv Baba comes in.
Okay.
That's the key. Through that connection, we understand our role, we purify ourselves, and ultimately we reach liberation.
So it's this whole journey of self-discovery, purification, remembering our true home. It sounds like there's so much to unpack here, and I'm definitely feeling the urge to dive deeper into some of these things. But before we go too far down that rabbit hole,
Sure.
I'm curious about this idea of a mandava, the Manava, that the Merlin mentions.
Okay.
What does that symbolize?
That's a great question to transition this in the next part of our conversation.
Okay.
A mandapa is basically a temporary structure often used for ceremonies or gatherings.
So is it suggesting that this world, this physical realm, is just a temporary home for our souls?
You got it. Yeah, it's like we're guests in this temporary structure.
Okay.
And within it, we have all these experiences, challenges, opportunities to grow.
And inside this mandava, we've got those celestial deities.
Right.
The sun, moon, stars, who are considered deities because they're benevolent. Yeah. The Merli even says, like in K-Mapkam, Kukam Satskopaki. Ha.
Ah.
Can't
kami kani paki. Har hak shako hatere kale. Eti karma me kerke kai klai ke klapti po me pa ke karke klan ki ke pinke ko yeset lage paraka ve eti kakle ekere klai ki mage he me kara ko pa ko ati ase ke sai pinge eti ke ati eti ke ati ape ati ke isepe apke nam ke can't be opening this.
It's a beautiful way to see the natural world and recognize that divine aspect of it.
Yeah.
But if they represent this inherent goodness, how do they fit into this cycle of descent and purification then?
That's a good question. So even though they're considered deities, they're still part of the cycle, subject to the same laws of karma and rebirth. It's a reminder that nothing's permanent, not even the stars, right?
Right.
They eventually fade away too. So a constant reminder of impermanence, the changing nature of this physical world.
Exactly. It makes you really think about what's important, where we should be focusing our energy.
Absolutely. And this impermanence kind of highlights the importance of this spiritual journey.
Yeah.
It's about going beyond this temporary mandava and returning to that true home, the soul world, where things are truly permanent.
Right.
This journey from the physical to the spiritual, from darkness to light.
That's it. And the Merli is giving us the map to navigate that journey.
Okay.
Through remembrance, purification, service to others. That's how we find our way back.
And the drama might be set, but we have the power to choose how we play our part.
Exactly.
We can just ride the waves of destiny or actively work towards this spiritual transformation.
Exactly. It's a message of hope and empowerment within this seemingly deterministic cycle.
And we're not alone in this journey.
Not at all.
We have Shiv Baba, that compassionate father who's always there to guide us.
Always.
It's reassuring to know we have that support as we explore these ideas and face the challenges of this age. But before we move on, let's get back into the Merli and look at some of these concepts in more detail. I'm particularly interested in the distinction it makes between those celestial deities and the true deities from the Golden Age. Or it says, Abo kon pampang, hala kon gutome karo kampang, it really is a beautiful passage. And you're right, there's this deep longing for that golden age.
Yeah.
That time when souls were in their purest form.
Right.
Just radiating happiness and love. It really shows the difference between those who are naturally good, like the celestial bodies, and those who have achieved that complete purity through effort and connection with the divine. So the true deities from the Golden Age, they're kind of like the ultimate goal of spiritual evolution.
Right, exactly.
They show us what we can become through our spiritual practice.
Right. They embody that complete liberation and union with the divine that we're all striving for. And the Murli reminds us that this knowledge, this path back to our true selves, it's only revealed at specific times every 5,000 years during the Confluence Age.
So we're pretty lucky to be alive during this time then.
Yeah, you could say that.
It's like we've been given this rare chance to break free from the cycle and reclaim our, I guess, divine inheritance.
Exactly. And it's during this special time that Shiv Baba comes down to teach us the ancient Raj Yoga.
Okay.
It's not just about understanding the drama. It's about actually practicing what leads to liberation.
So we've got the keys, but we have to use them, right? We have to take responsibility for our own spiritual growth.
Exactly. And the Murli even talks about this special clock that Shiv Baba created for this time.
It says, Ekiahai, Ekakahai Payahai, Ekohairakai Havaya Haba Haye Haya, Pekia Mashamba de Heberade Hai Hai, Hike Hai, Hi Hi Hi, ooh there. It's like a cosmic reminder that time is really important.
Yeah, it adds a sense of urgency for sure.
Yeah, we need to seize this opportunity while we can.
Right. We're not just taking a stroll here. We got to get moving.
That's right. And it really highlights how important our task is.
Yeah.
To purify ourselves and help others do the same.
Mm.
The old world is ending, and the new one is coming.
Speaking of the end of the old world, the Murli doesn't shy away from talking about those big events, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Like the destruction of the old world. Like boy.
It's more like a cleansing, getting rid of the old, impure things that hold us back.
So a cosmic reset, clearing out the clutter to make space for something new and good.
Exactly. And Shiv Baba, in his role as the destroyer, or Kepunka, is the one who orchestrates this cleansing. He's not destroying souls, just the negativity and impurities that bind us.
Okay.
So it's destruction that actually leads to liberation.
It's a pretty interesting way to think about destruction as a path to creation and freedom.
It is.
But if Shiv Baba is the one running the show, is he also bound by the rules?
Ah, that's a good question. And the Murli answers that Shiv Baba says, Iba Brini,
So even God is playing a role in this cosmic play then.
Yeah, everyone from the tiniest soul to the supreme being
Wow.
is a part of this grand tapestry.
And Shiv Baba is there to guide us through it.
Right.
Help us understand it all and achieve liberation. He is like the, I don't know, the master weaver, making sure everything fits together.
That's a great analogy, yeah.
And we have our part to play too, right?
Absolutely.
The Murli talks about service.
Yes.
It's not just about our own purification. It's about helping others find this path as well.
Exactly. It's about sharing this knowledge, guiding others toward the light.
Okay.
And becoming instruments of Shiv Baba's work, creating a ripple effect of positive change.
We're all in this together, helping each other get back home.
That's the idea. And the Murli even encourages us to create centers. What role do these centers play?
There's spaces where people can come together to learn about this.
Okay.
Practice remembrance, connect with others on the same path.
A sense of community and support.
Yeah, exactly, which is so important on this journey.
It's like creating little oases where people can recharge and get away from the challenges of the world.
I like that, yeah.
And it sounds like these centers are all about giving, sharing this knowledge without expecting anything in return. Absolutely. The Murli says, right? It's about giving out of pure love. and recognizing we're all part of this one divine family.
Mm.
The Murli even compares this spiritual sustenance to a pandara, Danj Kantai Tainai, like a feast for the soul.
Exactly, offering nourishment and strength to those who partake.
And it contrasts this with the poverty and hunger in the physical world.
Yeah.
It does it really makes you think about the suffering out there and the need for the spiritual exertion.
Yes, absolutely. And this Murli, with all of its teachings, offers this message of hope and empowerment. We're caught in this cosmic drama, but we can choose liberation.
The path is there. It's up to us to take it.
That's right.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the eternal drama and the cycle of rebirth, what's the one thing you hope our listeners will take away from this? Remember Shiv Baba, surrender to his guidance, and imagine yourself returning to your true home, that place of peace and happiness. You're not alone on this journey. That divine love and support are always with you.
What a beautiful message to end on. Thank you so much for sharing your insights today.
My pleasure. I always enjoy these conversations.
And to all of you listening, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope this has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to explore these ideas further. If this cycle of drama is real, where do you fit in? Are you actively shaping your destiny or just along for the ride? Think about your role and the choices you make in this grand play.
Yeah.
You have the power to choose liberation. The path is yours to create. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.